KWT slaying.
Salama family, Salama. It's Mr. Tayu. Today we're gonna talk to Sister Sheila Rociel. We're gonna talk about health and healing our family, healing YASHRA'AL. And this should be an important topic for all of us, especially right now, dealing with the situation with these pandemics and everything. So let me bring Sister Sheila in here. Greetings, Sister Sheila. How you doing?
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Thank you, Minister Tayu, for having me here today. I really appreciate it because it truly is an honor to be invited on your platform. So thank you so much.
I'm glad you agreed to come on. I think this is an important topic for the family. I think our health, especially in this time, we need to be more considerate of what's going on and how to keep healthy. So, I noticed in Facebook, you have a group called Healing YASHRA'AL. And can you tell us what motivated you to create that group? And, what do you plan on doing with that ministry?
Yes, I will. Well, actually, that group I actually had another group, but I had it open to really just to everyone, but everyone really wasn't receptive to it. So anyway, so it stayed very inactive. But I have gotten so many messages from our people who know who they are, and with healing issues. And so what I decided to do, I said, okay, I guess before it just wasn't time, it wasn't the season for it, and I decided to go ahead and create another group just for YASHRA'AL, just for us, and so anyway, that was the reason for it. So it wasn't just all of a sudden thing. I already had the mindset of it. I already had another group. It was a closed group for it, but no one was actually, I'm not gonna say anyone was actually able to grasp, the importance of it. So anyway, so it just kind of stayed in the background. But lately it's been a lot with the situation that is going on. And also too, prior to that, there's a lot of people, our people are just in, bodies just ridden with disease, with a lot of diseases, and I'm a big, huge advocate, of reversing disease in our bodies holistically, and particularly with our people, because I believe that generations of hardships, that our bodies has endured, because our bodies, you have to remember, is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and if our temples are in disarray and whatever, we can't complete our assignment, and therefore that's hurting the whole body of Christ, the Messiah. So it's really important that we get healthy and that we reverse these diseases that are in our body. And so that's pretty much why I opened up the group, and I said, well, I just want people to learn, to educate them. Let each one teach one, because I'm just one person, and so forth. I learned from different people, they taught me, so I'm just passing it on. So that's pretty much why I started the group.
All right, thank you. So as we were talking earlier, I had mentioned to you, and I think a lot of us have this history, with our parents. My dad, he was picking cotton at 3 years old with his mom, and doing sharecropping work and getting conned out of their money, just like you hear in the stories. And but out of that, they grew up on chitterlings, they grew up on eating hog head cheese, things like that. But you look at the history, and that was survival because the slave master didn't leave us anything, so we turned what was remaining into, I guess, survival food. We made that survival food a delicacy. And I think some of these bad habits carried on to today, where I think chitterlings and hoghead cheese shouldn't even be in the market today. But
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. I am amazed. I'm always amazed at how creative, our people are, because we can make some slop taste real good, and that's just the creativity of our people. But, before, unfortunately, back in when our ancestors were in enslaved chattel, and in bondage, fortunately the hard labor, that they endured at that time, that means they were active, they were in the sun, they were sweating out the toxins, they were sweating out a lot of that slop, and so therefore also too, not only were they sweating the slop out, they did carry over, at least I believe, some herbal remedies. And even we know right now with our parents come up with some herbal remedies, that we have to this day. So they kept some things, but by them working so hard, their bodies were able to release those toxins that were hurting them, and that by releasing the toxins by hurting them, that was hurting them, you know, they were able to survive, because otherwise we wouldn't even be here today if that was the case, And plus, too, you have to remember they didn't overindulge. They didn't overindulge. They didn't get the 3 square meals a day. You think the slave master was giving them that? No, so they were just eating.
That's true.
Right, just enough, to keep the strengths up, and then in order to survive, the Most High had the body to where it was toxin it was detoxing it out.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we have a history behind us, and it carries on to today. I think, like you and I were talking, although they had these challenges, they were able to sweat it out. But I think we have bigger challenges because we're not even eating food anymore. We're eating chemicals and
Hmm.
eating food that has been processed and or grown in a incorrect or unhealthy manner. Like I think my brother and I were talking one time, and we like, well, why people don't really eat fruit anymore? And I think it's because the fruit doesn't have any flavor, any taste. It has no nutrients.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't. What has happened is that, that's when they say a GMO food. Okay, I say this: go and buy a watermelon. Okay, you buy a watermelon, and all in the stores, all you're going to see is seedless. Pretty much, it's hard to find a seeded one. Well, if you find a seeded watermelon and a seedless watermelon, you cut that watermelon, you open that seedless watermelon milk is not, it's not juicy, it doesn't have a lot of flavor, it's not that sweet, it's just kind of rubbery, you just chewing on something. But you get that seeded watermelon that was grown up in a good ground, it's juicy, that watermelon is just running down your fingers. So it is a difference, with this. So it is important that we watch the fruits and the vegetables that we're eating. Plus, to all the pesticides. It's so much pesticides that's on the vegetables and the fruit, and we do have to clean that. We're not getting it all off, but that's where grace come in. But you do the best that you can. That's not the only toxins. We got chemtrails coming down. We got
Right.
stuff coming from everywhere. We should be detoxing and cleansing ourselves on a regular basis, because you eating on a regular basis, you out in the environment and on a regular basis. So you need to get to a point where you are doing intermittent fasting. I love that. I talk about that in the group, on the intermittent fasting. But before you can even do that, you need to do a whole major fast to clean yourself out, just to be able to reverse disease in the body. Because that disease, we don't want that to put us in an early grave. You know.
So, Sister Sheila, how would we go about that? How would we go about purging ourselves you know, in preparing ourselves to do intermittent fasting. Because, you know, for me, intermittent fasting, even though I've heard about it, I didn't understand the process until recently. So I've been doing it, and we're going to see where it's going. But, you know, how do we, you know, begin that
That
process?
process. Well, first of all, let me just do two distinctions because if you are trying to reverse a dis-ease, and I always say the words dis-ease because that's all what it is. You know, I don't care what the disease they name them these days. You know, it's a dis-ease in the body, disharmony in the body, and so when you do, if you're trying to reverse that, you got to stop the bleeding. And I always like to give an analogy of the parable. I use that parable about the wine and the wineskin is in Luke. And I just found out recently that Luke was a physician. I didn't even know it, you know. But anyway, in Luke, in the parable, our Messiah was talking to the disciples, and in that he was talking about the wine skins and the wine bottle, but about putting new wine into the wineskin, how that didn't work because it messed up the wineskin and what have you. And it's the same thing like with our bodies. When we're trying to heal, I mean, it does no good. I always tell people that it does no good to, well, I'm not going to say it does no good, but you're not going to reverse your reverse disease. You may manage it, but you're not going to reverse it. When you are putting healthy food, you decide, okay, now I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to eat my fruits and my vegetables. I'm going to do this and that. But you're putting it on top of a whole bunch of crap that's been in your system for years. You probably been eating like that because you know that's how your parents fed you for years. That crud, that's why that crud is just sitting up there, just like never clean it, like garbage is sitting in your kitchen. You never clean it out and begin to stick and stick to your in your body. That crud is sticking to your walls and what have you. Your poop stinks and this and that. You're just pitiful, and then you're trying to put some healthy food on top of that. Well, it's kind of like with the parable. You need to first clean. You need to clean your temple. You need to clean your temple first. Once that temple is clean, you get a great head start. Then you can start what I call intermittent fasting. Okay, you following me on that? So anyway, no sense of doing the intermittent fasting. This is if you're trying to reverse disease. If you're in pretty good shape and you pretty have a good lifestyle and you've been detoxing and fasting, you know, for a long time until now your body pretty much is on good track, then yeah, you can drive right into intermittent fasting, and all what you're doing, you don't even realize you're doing. For example, with myself, I didn't realize I was doing intermittent fasting, but I was. Say for instance, I eat. I get up and I don't eat until around about 12:30 or noon. I mean 12:30 or 1. And then I'm going to eat all between that 8-hour period. I like on intermittent fast, it's called a 16-8 fast. And what that means is that you are fasting for 16 hours and you're eating anything that you want, but I'm always going to say eat healthy within that 8 hours. I always try to eat healthy, but you pretty much eat what you want during that 8 hours. And then but people trip out 16 hours. I can't fast for 16 hours, but you're going to be asleep half the time. You're going to be asleep half of the 16 hours, you know? So anyway, so that is pretty much the way that you do intermittent fast. And that can become a lifestyle. You don't realize, see, we think we need a lot of food. We don't. We just addicted. We're just addicted to. We're addicted to sugar. We're addicted to. We just addicted. We're just addicted to everything. And I'm not going to say that you're not going to sometimes want some of those things, because your taste buds. After you cleanse and you do an intermittent fast and you are on a pattern. And on that site, I pretty much I did a video on that site and also do some instructions on it. So anyway, I can let people know, where to go to get that information. But I don't want to just go on and on. So let me stop there, Minister.
So when you said to start by cleaning yourself out, I mean, does that include like certain types of food, avoiding certain items, or is it like primarily, water and something?
you're going to be eating. Okay, so it's a good way to, it's a healthy way to fast, and it is an unsafe way to fast. You should be eating. You're going to be eating, but it's going to be what you're eating. You're absolutely correct on what you're going to be eating, and and the nutrients and the macronutrients and all that. It is a plan for it. It is a plan, because when you're doing, I call that a major fast. When you're cleaning yourself out, because you need to get that major fast, but you should be eating, because some people are on medication, they're on insulin, like their diabetes and this and that. So there is food involved. It's just what you're eating. Okay, and that's a whole list of things that could be.
So I've seen a lot of people in our community have diabetes. Usually it comes later, I guess, in their adult lives, and type 2, not type 1.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any solutions for them on reversing that? Because I mean, the current medical model, they'll keep us on drugs for the rest of our life. But I figure, we introduce some of these illnesses. Some of these illnesses can be changed just by changing habit. What's your opinion?
That's exactly it, and it's just not on diabetes. It's on any disease, So it's just let me tell you first off what people need to do. First off, the hardest thing that people have in accomplishing this and reversing diabetes, it's their the mental process, because they got to make up their mind they're going to do it. Because if you're going to reverse things, if you're going to reverse things, it's not. I haven't found any other way around fasting. I haven't found any other way around fasting. You must fast. You must clean out your crud. You need to give your organs a break. You need to, as far as there are many exactly, God, because you know what, our gut holds 80% of our immune system. So that's where disease starts, in that gut. That gut is so important. People with diabetes, they check with their doctors, they show them the fast program, get the okay from their doctor, and just do it. It's going to be hard. It is not easy to stop doing things and stop eating things, and it's not easy. It's not easy going through a fast and because you're putting your body into submission. You're making it to change up and to remember what it's supposed to do. So it's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy, but it only be a challenge for the first 2 or 3 days. First 2 or 3 days, you're not gonna starve, because you will eat some food. It's just going to be a limited amount of food within a time frame. And I can just go on with a list of things, but I'm gonna send people over to the group, because it's just too many. There's no sense. The Most High has given us so much fruits and vegetables and things and nuts and seeds, that it's just a matter of, that's not even much the issue. The issue is the mindset. You got to change that mindset. You got to make up your mind that I am going to reverse this disease in my body. I want to be healthy. This is my temple. I can't finish my assignment on it. You just have to make up your mind. I'm going to do this. You got to prepare and know, yes, you're going to have some, you're going to have some, I want to say some detox symptoms. You're going to have them. They're not comfortable. They're not. But expect that. You're going to get mad. You're going to be hungry. You're going to want to hit somebody. You're going to be tired. You're going to be all those things, because your body is going into a transformation. Is what it is, because you want to be healed from the intracellular level. That's how you want to be healed. You want to be healed from there, because you don't want to be you want good cells. You want good cells to be reproduced. You want healthy cells to be reproduced. You don't want to be reproducing bad cells and staying healthy. That makes absolutely no sense. So that's like going right back with the same thing with that parable, going right back after you clean your body out and putting that stuff right back in there again. So it's just a mindset. You just got to say, I made up my mind. You have to be tired of being tired. You got to be tired of being sick. You got to be tired of being bloated. You got to be tired of being fat. You got to be tired of being whatever your situation is. You just got to be tired of that and ready to commit. That's the hardest part, Minister.
Well, like you had mentioned earlier, about say the example of the watermelon, with no seeds, those hybrids. You know, grow, me growing up, all we had was seed, the seeded watermelons, the ones with the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And not, I guess maybe the past 15 years or so, they've been giving us these hybrids, which don't even taste like watermelon. I recently, my wife recently bought a seeded watermelon from one of the guys, that they bring their truck, park on the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and sell their watermelons. It was $20.
But it was good, wasn't it?
Oh, it was so sweet. It
Mm-hmm.
was, and I'm like, well, how do we, our food choices are more complex now. Any
It is.
recommendations on, our food sources and what to, avoid, and how do we get access to the things that's going to actually nourish our bodies?
Well, by faith, right now, you have to really, when they say no GMO, really no GMO, and there are going to be some food and some fruits and vegetables that was naturally uh, hybrid to each other, but it was natural. It wasn't man-made, as far as that goes. But and I'm gonna tell you, you just have to be the best you can. And people say, "Oh, food is so expensive, so expensive." But I'll be honest with you, if you're not eating so much of that meat and so forth, your food bill is not going to be is heavy. That's you still can get some uh non-GMO vegetables and fruit. They're still out there, and we just have to go by faith that that's what they really selling us. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been actually concerned about the soil and the things like that, and what they are putting in the stores. I'm trying to garden, so we got to do stuff that's different. We got to do stuff that's different to help us. But in the meantime, there are fruits and vegetables that are non-GMO. There are fruits and vegetables that has an affinity with our body, because we are African type people, and so forth. So we can't really eat everything that other nations eat. Our bodies just can't handle that. So there are some things that just not aligned up with our DNA, and that's just a fact. So I don't have a direct answer for that, except for telling you do the best you can and get the non-GMO, the foods that has not been the fruits and vegetables that has not been modified, and ones with seeds, because if you don't have a seed in it, that's not food, y'all. That's not food. That's just something that they made in a lab somewhere. That is not food. If we don't have a seed, what did the Most High say? He gave us every seed, right? He gave
Right. Everything has a seed, right?
everything has a seed.
That's true.
Exactly. Everything has a. If you don't have a seed, even look at your lemons and things. Cut that lemon up. If that lemon don't have a seed, that ain't real lemon. It's not real
Right.
lemon. Get a lemon, and that's just an example. They have a seed in it. That's one way how you can know that you're getting the Most High's food.
Yeah, I've learned a few things. I've been on and off studying health as well, but sometimes I fall off the train, or I don't know exactly what I need to remove from my diet. And I think I'm figuring that out. But in my journey, I discovered that one thing our people can do is look for Asian food markets, because
Yes,
their food sources come from their community. And so you have a better chance at getting a
yes,
lot of
yes.
real
And
nutritional
matter of
food.
fact,
Hmm.
you do. You're absolutely right. And thanks for bringing that up, because like myself, when I get a lot of my food, if I'm not growing it, I may have to go to 2 or 3 different stores, grocery stores, to get what I'm looking for, to get food, that is real food. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So it's just a matter of doing things differently, differently, because some stores is not going to have what you want, and you do have to go to some of the Asian community, and also to the Mexican restaurants. I mean, restaurants, stores, have a lot of the things that our ancestors, um, what they had, So yes.
Yeah, well, I agree with Miss Renee, and I'd love to see this in our community where we get to the point where we can provide our own food source. That's going to be a game changer, right, for the community. That'll keep us out of the hospitals. See, what people don't realize, the royals, right, the elite, they have their own farms.
Yes,
They
they
don't they
do.
don't eat that stuff we eat, right? So that's why you see them living to be 97, 100 years old. They manage their food sources and their water sources while we have to survive in their system that they gave us.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And plus, on top of that, that's why a certain person and certain ones of the elites are trying to buy up all the farmland because they want to contaminate, the more so, the vegetables and the fruits and so forth. So you got to just start where you are. We do need to start growing our own. I've started. There's a lot of groups and things that you can learn who are real educated on how to do that. So in this information age, we could find out pretty much anything.
yeah, I noticed. I've watched a few videos. Our brother from Elephant Man podcast. He shares some videos where they have a community garden and they're growing things. I think that's really awesome. I haven't gotten involved in that, but that kind of work. But I really need to learn. I don't. My thumb is not green. I'm not really successful, but
But
I think that. Yeah, go
uh,
ahead.
Minister tell you, mine wasn't either. Mine still isn't, but it's getting green. It's lime green right now. So it's
Oh,
getting
that's good.
so it's getting there. I think everybody need to. You can. I mean, people say, "Well, I live in an apartment." This is I can't. Well, start somewhere. Get you some pots. Get you some pot. Get you some of those Velcro pots, whatever you call those. But you can still grow something. It's not like in the soil, for as that goes. But you can also make your soil uh, with lots of nutrients and so forth, with compost. Stop throwing away. If you want to grow some things, stop. Don't throw away your straps of your watermelon or your tomatoes and things like that. Make a compost and put that will fertilize your soil. In your backyard or in your pot and whatever to help grow some of your food. So. Um, and yes, I hear about the hydroponics too indoors. I'm just not sold on that yet. As far as that goes, I don't know why. I just have to learn more about it. But a lot of people have been telling me about the hydroponics, as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about it, but my concern is, if we're using, water, a water environment to grow the plants, and they don't have access to soil that has the minerals and everything, that when we eat the vegetables, they're not going to help our body. And I think that's the kind of food we tend to buy now in the regular supermarket.
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel about it. So I'm just not sold on that. I'm just not, because it's kind of common sense. Kind of tell me, well, you're not in the ground. Where's the dirt? Where's the soil? Where's what is this? So to me, it's almost still like uh, genetically modified. Because even some of the seeds that you get now, are genetic modified. You won't know until your vegetable or your fruit come up, because it's not gonna have no seed. It's just gonna come up that one time.
Yeah, I have some heirloom seeds, but they're really part of my disaster planning. I haven't used them to grow anything.
Yes, yes. So that definitely is a start. That definitely is a start. But in the meantime, do the best you can and just recognize what is a decent fruit and vegetables by number one with the seed. Okay, number one with the seed. That's one way of being able to tell. If your apples don't have a seeds in it, that you're not eating real food. You're just chewing and you're just putting something in your body, but it's not giving your body any type of nutrients. It's just not. So people say,
Yeah.
well, is it hurting me? I don't know if it's hurting you or not, but it's not helping.
Well, how many apples can you find a day where you eat it and say, "Wow, that was delicious"? I mean, most of the time I bite an apple and I'm like, "Yuck,"
Yep.
because it has no flavor. It doesn't. It's not sweet. It's something's wrong with it.
Something's
And
wrong with it.
yeah,
Look at your grapes. All you see is seedless grapes, and every now and then you'll find some that say seeded grapes. And I'm hunting for the seeded grapes. I'm looking for that seeded grape. Find that seeded grape. That even though people don't want to take the time to spit the seed out, so they rather have the seedless because it's more convenient to chew, but it's not sweet. It's not giving you any nutrients. But that seeded grape, you taking that grape, you almost peeling that grape because you got to get that seed out, but it's doing your body good. That's what it's doing. It's doing your body good. So it's all in having the right food. The oranges taste like lemons. Yes, because it's not real food. It's not real food. It's just something to put in your body just to keep you say like you ate something, but it's not giving you any nutrients. It's not helping. And in the meantime, if you're already sick, you're just getting sicker. You really are.
well, let me ask you about what I consider the number one food enemy for everybody, including Israel. But I mean, the number one I learned this the hard way, enemy that's in everything, and that's granulated processed sugar. That
Oh,
is pure poison, and
I
it's hurting
always
all of us.
I always say sugar is Satan. Sugar is
I
the
like that.
devil. Sugar is the devil. That is the biggest culprit. And it is in everything. It is in so much. It's in everything. And people and be careful because people say, well, they buy a certain product or whatever because it says no sugar. Look and see if you see the word fructose, it's sugar. You got sugar in it. You've got sucralose. That's pause. That's just a recipe for starting cancer cells, messing up your cancer cells. So sugar is definitely, our sugar should come from nature. Our sugar should come from our fruits. That's why that's a natural sugar. That's a natural sweetener. But that sugar, that white sugar, all of it, the brown too. But I do the brown before the white. But all of it is tearing up our the insides. That sugar, as sugar cuts, it's it cuts. It's like glass, and it's cutting your insides. People don't know that, but that's what it's doing, and it's just doing all kinds of harm. It
It
really
is
is.
the worst thing in the history of food, if you call it food. I mean, we are raised on it from birth, right? Even if you give your child, a bottled baby food, has that sugar in it, so you're being raised on it at the time you're born. So imagine trying to get off of it, and
It's- Exactly.
so I actually, I've been through in and out of different types of diets, exercise, you do weights and you're like, well, oh, I put on some muscle, but the fat didn't go anywhere, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then
Mm-hmm.
all this time, I only recently found out that my biggest enemy was sugar. I mean, I knew sugar was bad, but I would switch my sugar sources. I would try to go to what I thought was more natural sugar
Mm-hmm.
sources.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't help me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And but when I decided, I said, I'm gonna give up white bread. I'm gonna give up I'm gonna give up all sugars. I'm gonna give up all breads. I'm gonna give up all rice. Like within 2.5 weeks, my pressure went down to normal range. And
Mm-hmm.
this is like, so my normal range, to let you know, is it'll be around between, like, on the top, uh diastolic, I think, what,
Mm-hmm.
135 over like 90,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime 145 over
You know what you
92. But what
mm-hmm.
happened was, when I gave up all of that stuff, my pressure went down to normal range, and I didn't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that very thing, because we
Mm-hmm.
have sugar in literally almost everything we eat.
Mm-hmm.
When we think we're giving it up, we may not actually be giving it up. That's why I decided I was giving up everything, and I watched my pressure go back to normal range in 2 weeks. I had no expectation of that, but it's been maintaining a normal range ever since.
Yeah, because what you did, Mr. Teo, is that that was fasting. You fasted that sugar is what you did. You fasted that sugar. You stopped putting in your body, what was hurting you. You just have to put a stop. You got to stop. And that's what I would tell anybody. Stop what you're doing. Just stop what you're doing and stop the bleeding.
What about what you see on the screen there? What's your answer to that?
Organic agave, yeah, agave and honey, yeah, those are all natural. But you have to be careful with any of it because because man has tampered with everything. But I use agave. I use agave, but I use it very, 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 very limited. And I use honey as well, very, very limited. But they say that the honey bees sap been contaminated with, everything's been contaminated with, as far as that. So here's the key word: moderation. Moderation. Moderation.
Well,
Period.
from my experience, I've done it all. I've done agave, I've done stevia, I've done the pink stuff, I've done brown sugar, and none of it helped me lose weight or lower my pressure.
So
Now,
you decided to just cut it out. That was a
yeah,
decision that you made to just cut it completely out. Yeah.
yeah. Once I realized that it was a real problem, and it's not really real sugar, I gave it up. So, like in Tanzania, it's illegal to bring in white processed granulated sugar. You
Hmm.
could get jail time.
Hmm.
So I don't know what the normal sugar is. Maybe it's cane sugar. Cane sugar isn't necessarily brown sugar, right? So
I don't know if it is or not. Be honest with you, I don't know if it is or not. All I know is that if it's not more of a natural sugar, because let me tell you what usually help my sweet tooth, and that is what you call it. Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Dates, dates. Dates is a natural. If that's they call that nature's candy, as far as that. And that's is what about vegan versus keto? You know what? As far as vegan versus keto, it's all the same to me. If you are have cleansed out your temple and you start intermittent fasting and start putting uh, the fresh vegetables, the fruits into your body, and then whether it's keto, vegan, or whatever, you should get the same results because your body knows what to do with those nutrients. It knows what to do with it. But someone say no cane sugar is natural. Like I said, I don't know if it was or not. All I know is that I don't use it anymore at
well,
all.
that's the thing. That's what I'm wondering if anyone really. Maybe Sister Light knows, but I do believe Tanzania has no problem using sugar from the cane, right? Just like someone said, they used to eat cane sugar from the field, and our body knows what to do with that. So I
Hmm.
think the things that make it into the marketplace is not the same as what's in the sugar field, the cane fields. And I,
Yeah.
so because I noticed, like, say in Tanzania and Ethiopia, even though Ethiopia, a lot of them are vegan, but they're slim, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But you go to West Africa and they're having weight issues because you can see they're importing European products, that has all the high fructose corn syrup and all that. And you know, like years ago, you see a West African and nobody had excess weight, but now they do.
They
And
have colonized it, so
yeah, they had the colonizers food coming in as a food source instead of growing their own, and that's hurting us.
hmm
But
hmm in the richest, right, with the richest soil on the earth,
I know
the
exactly.
richest soil on the earth.
Yeah, the most arable
You know,
soil in the whole world. Everyone needs Africa for everything. I mean, literally, the
yeah.
whole continent should be Wakanda. I know that might be taking things on a different topic, but I this is why I see a lot of Africans in there. They have the most healthy, beautiful teeth in the world compared to, people in the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many, how many of you guys that are from Africa, how many of you all have to go to the dentist? I don't think too many of you have to, except unless you break a tooth falling down or something. But I
Yeah.
like to know that. But yeah.
Well, that's true, because you know what, it was like a study done, and of course the other nations have taken went to I can't think of which, but it was one of the African nations. It was one of those over there, and it was about, they was trying to find why one of those tribes, they're they didn't have cavities, they had beautiful teeth, they had all of these things, and what found out is that it was certain herbs and things that they ate, they chewed on, and what have you. And so now the other nation has taken it now and added their little stuff to it and made it into an extract and what have you, and selling it for big money. So everything is taken from Africa, from Africa. So they just learning about why they are this, why they're healthy, why this is that and that, why they're not overweight or whatever. They learn it. They learn it. They notice, and they understand, beginning to understand why they are the way they are. They're always studying us, so far as that. So we don't all use the toothpaste stick. Okay, see what she just said. We don't all use a toothpaste y'all use. We use a cleansing stick. See? Okay.
Well, they have don't have the food poisons, and say the poison sugar, that we have a lot of times. So we're fighting bacterial growth, things like that, because we're eating processed sugar. And
Yep.
I mean, it took me the longest time to realize how dangerous sugar is. And even imagine if you eat a burger and you don't have that white bread, or you don't have that mayonnaise and that ketchup, you're gonna be like, well, this don't taste right,
Mm-hmm.
because you're expecting sugar.
It's
That's
addictive.
pretty bad. It's addictive. Yeah.
It's addictive, and that was by design. That is so it was a design to addict us. It was designed to kill us. That's what it was designed to do. That was systematic. I will forever believe that. That was systematic. Just like you said earlier in the top of the show, you were saying that some of the elites, they don't eat like that. They don't eat like that. They don't have those type of things in their areas and so forth. You can even tell by the grocery stores in certain areas. You can go to one grocery store. It could be a brand name franchise or whatever in one area, and in one of our communities, and it is horrible. The fruits and the vegetables, things are just horrible. But you go to the same brand franchise over to that other community, and they got the most beautiful, looking fruits and vegetables, plentiful and what have you. And so it's all systematic. It is.
So, Sister Sheila, I wanted to ask you, what do you know about herbal remedies? You have a background in that?
Yeah, I am a herbalist by trade. I am a herbalist, and herbs definitely help you support your organs, helps you support your organs, cleanse your blood, and all of those things, because herbs have an affinity and with our bodies, because we are like plants, so it works well, in our bodies. And I will always tell people, if you have an ailment and so forth, it's always best. Herbs work better together. Two and three and four herbs together work better than one herb alone. The Most High created our bodies that way. The herbs just seem to know it, because just to give you an example, in our bodies, if one organ, see, our body is made up of systems. It's made up of different systems, and if one system gets out of whack, then it's going to put pressure or on another system, and then that other system or counterpart system is going to is the other counterpart system is going to uh, uh, do the best that it can, try to compensate for the lack of the broken system, but that put that counterpart system, into trouble where it has to depend upon its counterpart system or organ, to help it, and it's just a vicious cycle, So herbs are the same. That's why when you do herbs, and herbs are a herbalist will tell you to take this one, the dandelion or the milk thistle or boom or whatever, together. And people say, "Why do I have to do out so many?" Well, you don't, but the herbs works better together. Why the Most High did it that way, don't know, but they work better together than they are alone, and you get a quicker healing process when you do. So herbs are. I'm fascinated with herbs. I'm fascinated with the Most High. He gave those herbs, for our healing. He said that it is in the scriptures. So herbs is a must for our people. We must take herbs, even if you're not ill. You just need those herbs to support your organs, to support your lungs, to support your kidneys, to support your pancreas, to cleanse that lymphatic system, to keep that blood cleansed, because our blood needs to be cleansed instead of recycling toxins all the time. So herbs is a very, very, very vital part, I believe, for our people.
So I was watching this video, and this European guy, he's a biker, I guess by trade, a professional Olympic biker, and he got the jab and got major injury from it. But people started recommending remedies. One of the remedies was black seed oil. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah.
And what is that? And how does that help anyone? I don't know anything about black seed oil.
Well, black seed oil, they call that the miracle. I think they say one of those African ones in those tombs or whatever, they live by that black seed oil. That black seed oil helps in a lot of things. Black seed oil, it helps in all different types of ailments. It's just like almost like a miracle deal, because I use it if I get a headache. I can take it if I have rub it on me on something or whatever. It's just one of those staple seeds that's in oil form that has been made into an oil so that we can consume it. It's just one of those things that how our parents used to always keep castor oil in the medicine cabinet or something like that or whatever. Well, black seed oil is kind of like that. It kind of is like a master of all types of oils. That's the best way I can explain it. But I would advise everybody to keep it in their apothecary. Keep a bottle of black seed oil in there. Learn how to make it. So that's what I know about black seed oil.
So Sister Ruhama had a question. What effect does the chemtrails have on our overall health? Do you have any opinion on that?
Oh my goodness, those chemtrails, it's toxins. It's we don't even know what's in it, but we know that it's hurting us. Those chemtrails, it's nothing but toxins, and not just the chemtrails, even the pollution, everything. We are in an environment of toxins daily. We are in an environment of toxins. Toxins are going to be with us until we leave here. So therefore, that's why I am a big advocate of continually detoxing. Get your regimen on it, because you're going to be you're going to go outside. You're going to be getting sprayed with those chemtrails. Chemtrails are toxins. Toxins are not good for you. Period. No matter what kind they are, they're toxins. So but it's not the only toxin. You have to say it's the pesticides, it's the pollution, it's it's just in everything. Toxins are just in everything, and that's why we should always be continuously on a cleanse. Just make it a habit that you're cleansing. And that's why I like intermittent fasting till it is now a part of your lifestyle.
So as Romeo said, he's from South Africa. He doesn't really hardly need a dentist. And what, I guess, any recommendations on how we can alter our, dental strength? I mean, we have so many bad poisonous foods in European nations, include especially here in America. Any recommendations on, um, how we can protect our dental health?
Well, there are there are several other herbalists that are a real versed in that. And be honest with you, I don't have the answer for that. I do know that I do use certain uh, herbs. I use myrrh gum powder, and that I got that from. You remember, if anybody knows about Dr. Sabi, and that myrrh gum, that coconut oil, swishing it around in your mouth, and that even baking soda, even baking soda, you just have to rinse your mouth out real good because you don't want to lose your enamel, and so there are things, but I do like the myrrh gum. I like the myrrh gum. I mix it with coconut oil, and that's how I preserve my my teeth and gums.
Okay,
So
yeah. Minister Jacob and I, we use organic coconut oil, and that pulls out the toxins
it does.
and the bacteria from your teeth. And I mean, according to some, it can heal cavities. I haven't verified that. I mean, it definitely relieves infection and pain, though. It definitely
Yeah.
does that. Like, if you ever feel like you're having a cavity, it's the weekend and you have to rush to the dentist,
Done that.
coconut oil will pull that out and give you
Yeah.
some relief.
Right. Because it's called oil pulling, and coconut
Yeah,
oil.
yeah.
And coconut oil is one of the, and not only coconut oil, there's other oils too but coconut oil is the most possible and well used, and everything. Yeah, you're right on the baking. So you have to be careful, huh? You just have to use wisdom. That's all. You have to use wisdom, and like I was saying before, you know, different herbs and different things, they work better together than alone. So if you're brushing your teeth or whatever with plain baking soda, yeah, that's not good. So it needs to be balanced out. So you're absolutely right. Who said that?
Okay. So, Sister Sheila, we're coming to end. What I would like to see, hopefully, we can get you on one day with Sister Siobhan Ford. I know she's an herbalist. She knows a lot. Our brother from Elephant Man podcast. Maybe we all can have a community conversation.
That would be
To
great.
yeah, to keep that conversation going. But any last words for the community?
Well, yes, I think pretty much I just want to say is that if you want to reverse, because like I say, I am a big advocate on reversing disease in our bodies holistically. If you really want to do that, take everything that you heard today and use it, and let's let it take root, and don't let um, temptation push you away from what you've heard and what you've learned. You have to have a mindset. Get that. Just make up your mind that you're going to do this, and because this is your temple. This is your temple, and you can't finish your assignment in good health, or you may not finish it at all, and you leave here, without finishing your assignment. So this is on the temple that we have until we get our glorified temple. So we have to take care of it. So it's our responsibility. Is you are responsible for taking care of the temple. It's nobody else's but yours. The Most High, He gave us all. He gave us all the things that we need, to be able to do that. That's where his grace and his mercy comes in there. So that's what I would say. I would just say, don't just hear this today and then do nothing. Take a first step and do something starting today. That's it.
So, Sister Sheila, can you tell them how to contact you, and if they want to join your group on Facebook, how they can find that?
Yeah, they can find it at Sheila Rociel. But actually, if they come, I really would like them to come through the healing of YASHRA'AL's temple, reversing disease. And I don't know how to put that link in there. I guess I need to, if I can know how to put that in there, a link to that Facebook group, because that's where I'm going to be at the most. Is right there. And my email is at Sheila@SheilaRociel.com. SHEILAROCIEL.com. That's my email, Sheila at Rociel.com. But the Facebook group Healing of YASHRA'AL's Temple Reversing Disease is the Facebook group. In that group, it has a lot of information that I've placed in there and still uploading. So please go there and each one teach one.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Sheila. I appreciate you coming on today and sharing your knowledge with the community. I'd like to have you on again. Like I said, maybe we can turn that into a community conversation, because a lot of people have experience using certain items, and other ones we don't. And certain herbs I know affect some people differently. Some people it helps differently as well. So, but
True.
we
True.
appreciate you for coming.
Thank you
And
for having me.
so I want to, thank our family. I want to thank the patrons that continue to support Teo Ministries, and I like to thank the Cash App givers, the Smart Chat givers, and we appreciate all of you who pray for Teo Ministries. As you all know, we are often on the front lines, getting challenged and attacked by the enemy. So thank you, Sister Sheila. Thank you, family, and we'll see you next time. Peace and blessing, Israel. Your captivity is ending.